Just want to let you lot know that if you're watching this clip on the Fozcast YouTube channel, the full episode is now available to watch exclusively on Spotify, and it's free. Come on. A lot of footballers play snooker. I know for a fact a lot of footballers play snooker.
A lot of players have tables in the houses, don't they?
Yeah. Well, we, like I say, I used to have a snooker table in my house. So snooker in the Foster household, right? It was a big deal as a kid. Honestly, it was a big deal. My dad's here today, and it's like my dad's never come to a podcast before. Honestly, my dad has never come to a podcast, right? And this one, when I told him like we were going to be doing one with you, oh my gosh, Ben, I'm coming. So he's watched the video that we've made today. He's absolutely buzzing. He's all over it. But yeah, when we were kids, it was always on the telly. Like snooker was a proper big deal back in the day, wasn't it? Like we were even joking about some like the TV shows. Remember like Pot Black and Big Break, like Jim Davidson, John Virgo, Big Break, all that kind. That was prime time TV, wasn't it?
Snooker was huge. I think pre-Sky, it was on BBC, ITV. It was one of the top sports actually on TV at those times, and obviously Sky came, which sort of elevated football to a whole new level. And there was so much choice thereafter to watch in terms of sport like golf and all sorts. So snooker went down a wee bit, but then in the 80s and 90s, I mean, it was massive. I mean, we were like proper stars, which is weird. We were me in the beginning, young to get recognised everywhere. But the likes of, because people still say to me now, there's not the characters in snooker anymore, because they still remember the likes of Bill Werbanook and Kurt Stevens.
Is he the chap that had like 15 pints?
Yeah. He had to start drinking. I think about 3 or 4 hours before every match. He had a condition, that a medical condition that he had the shakes. So it was either drinking beer or taking a drug. It was banned.
Yeah.
So beta blockers, I think it was. So yeah, he had to go the other way of having a few beers.
Wow.
And I think it was public knowledge that he tried to claim VAT or tax back on them
on the beers.
On the beers.
That sounds like you. This does. This sounds like you.
I like his thinking here, mate. That's a work expense, all right. He has to have that kind of stuff.
He did have to go to the toilet every frame though, which was a.
Oh yeah, that's a long session. That is, if he's doing that all the time. I mentioned my dad a minute ago, right? So, like I say, my dad is he's run the local snooker team, our Lillington C team. Like I say, we're avid, we're amateur, and we're very average. Honestly, we're very average. But you were 21 years old. You're a young Stephen Hendry, right? You're playing in the tournaments. You're winning everything, and then you're doing also you do the rounds, you do the clubs and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, you came to our area. You came to a club near to us called the Covington Club. Okay, right. And my dad was like, as everybody was, just buzzing to come and get a glimpse of a young Stephen Hendry. And anyway, he entered the raffle. The raffle prize was a signed Stephen Hendry snooker case with a cue inside it. Right. Absolutely buzzing. And my dad went and won the raffle, right? So I've got a picture here now. I'm going to show you. If you're watching this on Spotify, by the way, everybody, just give your phone, if you're watching on your phone, just give your phone a little turn to the side, right? And you'll see the video. This is a picture of my dad getting the cue off of you, 31 years ago, Dad?
So this could be the mullet years. I want to guess it's the mullet years.
This is 100%. No, this is not the mullet years.
It's not the mullet. Is it the bleach blonde years?
I think it might be, yeah. Wavy. You're handsome as you like, by the way, back in the day. Dad, you're looking $1 million and all. Honestly. You two could have had a night out and just nicked all sorts here, by the way. Just have a little look at this. We'll put them on screen so you can have a good look at them. Have a look at that little bad boy. How cool is that?
The sweater shop. That was my sponsor, the sweater shop.
Was it really?
Yeah. They were great. So they were the ones, when I won the World Championship one year, they gave me a Ferrari.
No, they did not.
Yeah, and another time they gave me a Bentley Continental GT or something.
What, was like a bonus?
Yeah, it's a bonus for winning the World Championship.
Just a well done. Here you go.
And I knew this before, because one time I was clearing up against Jimmy. I think it was when I beat him 18-17. And I'm clearing the colours. And I shouldn't have been thinking about it, but I'm thinking I'm going to get a Bentley. I should have been thinking this is for the world title, but I couldn't help it. It was just coming in when I was like clearing the colours. It was like, wow. But yeah, they were amazing sponsors. Yeah,
are they still in business?
No, they sold up. They made fortunes. They sold up. But wow, what a picture.
Oh, it's belting, isn't it?
I look like something from a boy band.
You look $1 million, honestly. I'm absolutely buzzing with this picture. I remember seeing this picture, like I say. I remember my dad coming home.
Who tucks their sweaters into their jeans?
I know. That was the look, though, wasn't it? It was what it was. My dad's massive glasses on him. Actually, he's still got massive glasses now, Dad. But yeah, I remember my dad coming home that night. He's just won this snooker cue. He's buzzing. I think it's a Riley snooker cue. Anyway, he was buzzing so much of it. Later that week, he sold it to somebody at the club for 60 quid. No. He did. He sold it for 60 quid. Oh, God.
Fantastic.
It's class, though. Yeah, I love it. Right, where are we going then? So, young Stephen Hendry, like you said there, sort of like you say, back in the day, when you're a youngster, you're winning tournaments right, left and centre. Just how famous are you at this moment in time? Are you able to just go and do any normal stuff whatsoever?
I think the fact that I lived in Scotland helped a bit. I think if I'd moved down south, it might have been more of a problem. I did get recognised everywhere, but it was in Scotland, football was everything in the papers. I mean, it was all the sort of tabloids. You 6 pages of Rangers and Celtic, maybe a page of the other teams, and then snooker would still have a little bit back. So it was football dominated, but it was strange. Being learning to be well known and people know who you are, because I was just kind of grew up normal family and nothing out of the ordinary. So for this to happen was it's pretty random.
Did it take much to adapt to? Because obviously back then it would have been maybe someone asking for an autograph.
Yeah.
So obviously if you were a 21-year-old Stephen Hendry right now with a world of camera phones, it's a very different
social
level,
media,
isn't it?
all that kind of stuff.
You could still be conspicuous to a point, couldn't you?
I think it's important, and I was very lucky. I had good background from my parents, and my manager was very good at keeping me. I didn't do any sort of interviews, front of papers.
Kept you away from all that. Yeah,
kept me away. The odd one I did, we sort of found out straight away that they were looking for an angle, and then we just sort of kept away from it. But yeah, you do realise that you're even then you're everything you do in your life becomes public property.
It's going to get out there eventually,
or knowledge. So that's sometimes is difficult to get used to. But I mean, I just loved what I did. It was great for me. I was the best snooker player in the world. So it was just anything that was slightly negative, I didn't even think about.
Joe, one thing I found interesting, so like I say, we've already filmed a video for the YouTube channel earlier, and you were asking me about Sir Alex Ferguson and the hairdryer treatment, all that kind of stuff. And you said your manager used to do exactly the same thing to you. And I said, hold on, your manager? So you're the guy out there in front of the cameras, performing, producing the goods kind of thing. And yet still you would get back into the change room. Your manager would be on you.
Yeah. I mean, I used to sometimes would fall out over it. I mean, he'd know the shit out of me because he couldn't put 2 balls in a row. And he would criticise my shot choice and things like that. You shouldn't have gone for that. And I was like, look, you can but it used to work. It used to really get me going, and I'd go out and it didn't, or every time, but a lot of times it got me reel my back up, and I'd go out and play really well. But he kind of took me over my career when I was 16, when I turned pro, because my dad used to take me everywhere, but obviously he couldn't afford to
travel in and all that.
Do the traveling as a professional is a lot more expensive than just going to amateur tournaments. Yeah. So the booking hotels. Because one thing my manager did was said, if you're going to be a professional, you're going to stay in the same hotel as Steve Davis. You're not going to, because if you stay in a little bed and breakfast and he's in the hotel, you're going to feel inferior. So I think that was quite an important thing. So it obviously cost money, and he sort of brought this sort of work ethic into me as well, because I wasn't practicing really. I was mucking around my mates. What he instilled, he says, if I'm going to financially back you, look after everything, you're going to work your bollocks off, basically, his words. So I was in the club 6 hours a day, 7 days a week, on my own.
Wow. Okay.
On my own play, and I hated it at the beginning. It was like, oh my God, this was a hobby. This was something I enjoyed. Yeah. And now this is like a job. But after about a month or two, my form, I could feel my game was just changing and getting better with this practice. And I could see results.
How did you practice?
Thanks everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed this clip of the Fozcast. If you would like to watch the full episode, it is now available exclusively on Spotify for free.